10 insane My Crazy Obsession episodes. First aired in 2012, this show has its take on the most bizarre obsessions. The producers bring weird people in and interview them about their fascination with an item or an entity. In this video, we will be looking at some of the craziest obsessions people have displayed on this TLC show. Make sure you give us a thumbs up and subscribe to this channel. Let's get it going. 10. Rat Woman. Chantal Banks has confided in rats ever since she was a teen. She thought she had found her purpose in life at the glimpse of her first rat. Chantal has 19 rats, and she says that she suffers from the GGMR syndrome, which stands for Gotta Get More Rats. During her interview, Chantal claimed that rats were far more precious to her than people. She had named all of her rats, and she was familiar with each of her rats' personalities. She treats her rats as her children and not her pets. The craziest part is that Kevin, Chantal's son, refers to the rats as his siblings whom he had grown up with and knew well. Chantal's rat obsession had her move out of her marriage of 11 years with Chester. According to Chester, it was confrontational when Chantal would go and buy rats and not inform him. On the other hand, Chantal was heard mentioning that it was demoralizing and difficult for her as her husband did not support her with her rats. Chester responded to that by saying that Chantal could get excessively demanding and stubborn at times when it came to her rats. Since she had no support from Chester, Chantal decided to move out to a new apartment so that she could look after her rats better. She believed that any hope that Chester had of them being able to work out their marriage would go down the drain. Up next, meet the strongest family in the world. 9. Super Strong Family. The Best Family, yes, that is their name, puts up outside Las Vegas in a suburban neighborhood. This family is obsessed with muscles, and each member puts in their share of muscle gain daily. The obsession with muscles started when Nick Best was in his high school, weighed 130 pounds, and was what some would call slightly feminine. But over the years, Nick transformed himself such that no one could ever think of him as a weakling. Nick and his family train around 240 hours each week. Their children, Dylan and Jessica, train more than the pediatrician allows kids of their age to lift, but the kids enjoy the training and train with weights that are almost twice their body weight. Nick is a regular competitor in the strongman circuit, and that was where he met Callie, his wife, who was a professional strongwoman. Nick also says that though his family might not seem normal physically, they are unified, and if the extensive training they do makes them look bad in front of people, then they're okay with that. Apart from the heavy training, the family eats quite a lot to satiate and compensate for what they have burned. 10 dozen eggs are what the family goes through every week. Wow. Watch out, this next segment might make you squirm. 8. Bug Eater. David, a teacher from Rhode Island, has a rather gross obsession with eating bugs. David knows how he is judged for his actions and also says that it puts him in a loathed spot. He believes it's a double standard that people are willing to pay a good price for things like crabs, shrimp, and other lobsters in the ocean, but are grossed out by bugs on land. David has consumed around 5,000 bugs in the last 11 years, and according to him, the most humane way to kill a bug is by freezing it as it goes to sleep before it's killed. In his basement, David has a freezer where he has about 12,000 bugs stored of 20 different species, which he refers to as his treasure chest of bugs. His wife, Kim, says that his interest in eating bugs has developed a lot with time, and that it is growing. For the interview, David is seen showing a bag of insects, which he determines would last him a week or probably 2. Ew. And now let us introduce you to a man for whom condiments are not a laughing matter. 7. Ketchup Master. Ralph Finch, or the Ketchup King, puts up in Michigan. Finch is a retired copywriter and an amateur comedian who has been collecting ketchup for the last 44 years. Ralph says that ketchup has taken a major chunk of his life and that ketchup is ketchup. After all, it goes well with anything and everything. Janet Finch, Ralph's wife, says that he is the Ketchup King and that she could not have imagined her husband's world without ketchup. While all is fun and games until a point, Ralph's obsession grew out of hand when he crashed his life insurance policy just for the sake of making new additions to his ketchup collection. Ralph has bottles of ketchup dating back to 1804 and 1798 with silver labels among other major collectibles. For the interview, Ralph also showed some of his precious jugs which took him 10 years to find. Among his collection was banana ketchup and also a huge bottle of ketchup, which had set him back about $1,000 and which ultimately gave him his title. You may have heard of mermaids, but have you ever heard of a man being so obsessed with them that he turned himself into one? 6. Merman. Eric Ducharme was so fascinated with mermaids that he converted his whole lifestyle to be able to live like one. It was a path that he had chosen and it seemed quite satisfying. Eric's mother, Candy, says that everyone has their passion in life and to be able to live like a mermaid underwater was Eric's. Matthew, Eric's partner, says that on their first date when he was told about the mermaid idea, he was astonished and had an initial reaction of, wow. 22-year-old Eric was a certified scuba diver, but his passion for being a mermaid had driven him as far as visiting one of Florida's largest natural springs 3 times a week to be able to swim like one. Eric said that this seemed like an escape for him when he would be underwater, away from the world, and it made him happy. Matthew added that whenever they would go swimming, Eric would swim off to his corner away from the world, and at times Matthew wouldn't be able to find him. Now, that is one crazy obsession for sure. What's so ugly that it's cute? Troll dolls. 5. Gymnast trolls. Michelle Cairns is a 38-year-old gymnastics instructor who has a weird fascination with troll dolls. She has a collection of around 3,000 dolls who are in and around her entire house, the cabinets, the rooms, and even has some trolls living in her freezer. Delaney Cairns, Michelle's daughter, says that her mom is obsessed with troll dolls like crazy and has been collecting them even since before she was born. Dean Cairns, her husband, also shares that her daily routine starts with scrolling the internet for even more dolls to be added to her collection. Michelle likes the idea of troll dolls being present everywhere around the house because she believes they love looking at her. She even has an entire room dedicated to them where she keeps all her dolls. She refers to the room as her sanctuary and says that the dolls make her happy at times when she is sad. She has developed an affectionate bond with them and can't imagine her life without them. So, what's your favorite color? 4. Pinkalicious. Hollywood has been a place of glitz and glamour, and Kitty K. Sarah has certainly had her fair share. This voiceover artist has an extreme fascination with the color pink. Kitty has all her belongings made in the same color, from her entire room and her furniture to even her pet. Sarah feels like the color provides her with a certain sense of luxury, and it also makes her happy. Talk about 2 targets achieved. Kitty feels that the color makes her unique and also gives her a good sense of fashion. She doesn't like someone telling her what to wear, and the color plays an important role in her life. Kitty's obsession with the color is to such an extent that she only uses pink soap, pink toothpaste, and even a pink toothbrush. The very thought of putting on a dress in a different color despises her. Pinkalicious. Up next, an obsession which might seem a bit far-fetched. 3. Taxidermy. The obsession of this family has taken them out on a conquest which has made them travel the entire world. The Smith family is obsessed with taxidermy. They have 213 stuffed animals in their house. According to them, taxidermy not only helps in preserving animals, but it's also sought off as a way to continue the life of an animal even after its death. The family has a mindset that they are honoring the animal and that it can never die for them. Despite knowing how they are judged for the act, the family is convinced that it is far better than living a life of double standards where people defend any act against animals until that very animal comes from the grocery store. The collection of the family has set them back close to around $400,000, but they don't care. Their prized trophy is the bighorn sheep put up in display, and not to mention the lion put up in the kitchen. How far would you go to recreate something from the past? 2. Flight off. Anthony is a 45-year-old man who has a rather strange obsession with flights, or to be specific, the Pan Am flight. He has a replica of a first-class Pan Am cabin built in his 625-feet garage. Even after the operations of Pan Am were seized back in the day, it did not stop Anthony from getting the same flying experience that the brand had. Anthony has all the necessities, including socks, eye shades, and the headsets in his copy flight cabin. Even in the details like the no smoking sign and the seatbelt sign are taken care of, as he has the same ones put up in his replica. Anthony has been very precise about the minute details like the masks and anything related to an in-flight emergency too. According to him, the biggest task he had to tackle was to look for the same matching seats as the Pan Am first class cabin. And he did manage to get his hands on them with original Pan Am branding. The seats were in excellent condition and working perfectly, the lengths to which people go. And finally, we're down to our number 1 entry on the list. 1. Carrot freak. ZZ Howell has an obsession with carrots. She has 35 tattoos of carrots on her body, which include 1 carrot armband, 4 on her hand, 6 on her back, and 1 giant carrot on her belly. Her sole desire is to be able to have the most carrots in the world. ZZ is so obsessed with her favorite vegetable that she has also dedicated her entire life to amassing carrot collectibles, and her house is proof of that. She has articles related to carrots from her dining room to her bathrooms, making an aggregate of more than 1,000 items. She spends 4 to 5 hours daily rearranging her collectibles, which include a carrot jump rope, a carrot-shaped cheese grater, carrot soaps, carrot slippers, carrot candles, and whatnot. Her collection also includes carrot figures, which she refers to as her friends. Out of them, her favorite is her drunk little carrot bunny. So, which crazy obsession did you find the most interesting? Do let us know in the comments section below, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more cool videos. Thanks for watching, and have an excellent day.